It would be effective in like a negative way, only because, you know, if they're still with that person after like going through like all this type of abuse, they obviously, you know, have like really deep feelings towards them, and hearing, you know, insults towards them is only going to hurt them more and push them farther away from you in like the situation of trying to make it better.
I agree. I think the best thing to do is just try to emphasize that person's positive attributes. Try to emphasize the good things that they do and build them up until they're at a stable place where they can leave that relationship and, you know, put it behind them.
I think you should tell them about their friend because, you know, you being a friend, you need to, you know, let them see the whole picture. You know, if he's not good enough for you, you should let your friend know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, that person is way more valuable and they shouldn't be with someone who's treating them as less of a person.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that could hurt your relationship with your friend, because if you go off saying how well, in my case, if you go saying how their girlfriend is, start calling them names and everything.
Well, you don't have to say it in a bad way. You don't have to say bad names.
But
You're defensive.
Yeah, I was about to say your friend can think that you're trying to come at their girlfriend or whatever,
Yeah.
and then it could push your friend further away from you.
I agree, but it's a certain way that you can say it. You don't have to be like, oh, well, he's a jerk, but you can be like, you know, I don't think he's good enough for you and you're way more better than that. Things like that, but you don't have to be rude about the situation, but you should bring it to their attention that, you know, what he's doing isn't right.
Constructive criticism is definitely better than insulting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
What do you guys think in extreme cases where it's just getting really out of hand, where somebody is like, you know, just crying every night, crying in school, can't even, you know, keep, you know, composure? What do you do then? The psychologist that I talked to earlier suggested going to an adult, a trusted adult with good judgment that won't take the wrong steps. Do you think that would be a good idea?
I think that's a great idea. An adult, a counselor, a big brother or sister, anyone that, you know, might have been through what you're going through and that can lead you in the right direction.
Okay. It's also important to know to trust, trust an adult with good judgment for that type of thing. You can't just, you know, tell
Pick
your
anyone.
friends, pick anybody just because they're an adult. It has to kind of be somebody that you feel safe around.
And it has to also be someone who you like respect,
Mhm.
you know, for like higher reasons other than just because, oh well, they hang out with me all the time. I mean, like, you could be a junior or a senior in high school and they could have been in their junior or senior year in college, and although technically they are an adult and technically they are more mature than you, you know, they could still be at that mental stage where they're either at or below your level. So it
Yeah.
also has to be someone, you know, who has a type of stature that,
Yeah.
you know, would be approvable.
Yeah. I understand.
You could also talk to the guy, you know, the guy that's doing all the abuse, and just let him know that, you know, it's not right, and bring it to his attention, and then maybe, you know, he'll realize that he should be treating her much better.
Do you guys think that's a good idea to confront the abuser about the abuse?
I do think that's a good point, because not everyone who's physically abusing someone, or sorry, not physically, emotionally abusing someone else knows that they're doing it. Like, it might just be a way of their upbringing. Like, if a child was brought up with the knowledge of, you know, not giving a hug to someone like once a day, like when they say goodbye, or not kissing their mother before they went to bed, you know, that kind of stuff affects, you know, how they grow up, and which could also affect how they, you know,
Their relationships with other
yes,
people.
how they're in relationships.
In some cases, it can make it worse, though, too.
Yeah.
The abuse could turn up because you said something about it or personal about it.
It could create other
Yeah.
problems.
I agree with Tiffany said. Like, it could be the way you're brought up, and maybe they saw their parents acting that way, and they thought that when they get into a relationship, that was the way to act, and it really wasn't. So if it could be a good thing sometimes if you confront the abuser, and they could straighten up.
It depends on every situation, I guess. Every
Everything varies.
situation's different.
And also how you know, go towards the person. Like, if you're going towards a person in that attack mode, like, you did this to me, like, you're making me feel like this, and I want you to change, like, obviously they're more than likely gonna be defensive and say, well, I don't see how I'm doing that, or you're being too over emotional.
Mhm.
But like, you know, if you approach them calmly and are saying, you know, I'm very upset all the time and I don't know why, and I think, you know, part of the reason is because of our relationship, and I don't exactly like when you do this or this, and you make me upset when you call me names like that. Like, you know, that could be a better approach to it.
Okay, say down the road the person gets out of the relationship and they're just, you know, there's serious long-term issues that people deal with because of emotional abuse. How do you help your friend? How do you help them recover from that?
Probably, I don't really think that if it's something long term after they're out the relationship and they're still suffering, I don't think it could be really in your hands. I think then that's the type of professional help that they would need. Because if it's, like I said, if they're out the relationship and they're still messed up and everything, I think then you should tell your friend,
Go to counseling or
yeah,
something.
go to some type of counseling.
Professional help.
Or you can take them out, you know, try to do things to get it off their mind, you know, or maybe try to introduce them to another person that could be special in their life. All different types of things.
I would agree in like taking them out to have fun, but I wouldn't rush them into trying to be in another relationship because that could also, you know, bring up past issues that would, you know, hurt a relationship that possibly could work out.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's all the time we have to talk today. Thank you guys for coming out and having this conversation. It's really important to let people know, you know, what to do in these type of situations. So thanks. Thank you again. Stay tuned for next time we have this show.